guys, and welcome. It is Niran here, and today it is time for me to welcome you back to yet another episode of our Leicester City Career mode here on FIFA 16. Today we've got another 3 games for you guys to enjoy, playing Crystal Palace once again in the Barclays Premier League. We played them last episode, and we also play West Brom today as we move into January. Yes, you guys will be able to put some more input in terms of buying players for this series, so if you could leave some more suggestions in the comments section, that would be greatly appreciated. There'll also be a vote about what I should do in terms of the attacking position, as you guys have made it clear that I should certainly buy a defender and a winger, but we're not entirely sure about the striker position. Nevertheless, when it comes to last episode, you guys voted for N'Golo Kante as your player of the episode for episode number 60, so that means he plays every single game today. However, with the fixture congestion having been so bad over the last 3 episodes and having had Kante win player of the episode every single episode for the last 3 episodes, we've now got a situation where he's extremely tired going into this one against Crystal Palace, but we've got to play him. You guys chose him as player of the episode for the 3rd time in a row. It was only 1 vote in this one above Donald Embolo, who does start this game nevertheless. But yes, stamina fatigue is a massive issue for this one. Therefore, there's quite a few changes to the squad. Schmeichel, though, maintains his place between the sticks. Wimmer, Amati and Schlupp into the side, though, as well as Drinkwater and Luka Zahovic. So quite a few changes, quite a few youngsters on the bench. Of course, last episode we managed to get a last-minute equaliser through Donald Embolo against Crystal Palace in the league. We'll be looking for similar heroics today. Good save, though, from McCarthy to open things up from Danny Drinkwater. But Embolo is now cutting inside, trying to score against Palace again, but perhaps should have done a little bit better. Drags the ball wide there with the finesse of McCarthy's far post. Crystal Palace, though, now going forward in the second half, and it's been quite a quiet game overall. 59 minutes into the game, Palace getting their first sort of chance. They've had a good possession, they've looked quite threatening, but we've done well defensively so far. Ball coming into the box, though, and we've been poor defensively there. Kevin Wimmer allowing Dwight Gale to get goal side of him, and that is really poor defending from the Austrian centre-back. He should be doing far better there against someone who's not exactly an aerial threat in Dwight Gale, but we are behind once again to a Dwight Gale goal. We're going forward, though, trying to get that equaliser that we managed to get last episode. Luka Zahovic forcing a comfortable save down to McCarthy. Mikael Vestergaard now off the bench. He's found Jeffrey Schlupp in some space, who now cuts inside. He's in all sorts of space now, goes for the finesse, but Joel Ward is there to make a vital block. We are pressurising, but we've left it too late really in this game at the moment. Perez, though's found Luka Zahovic. Wonderful save from McCarthy. Cleared off the line by his namesake Paddy. It comes to Frederick Riex off the bench, but it's blocked. And in the end, we do not find the equaliser that we managed to grab last episode. And we lose again. Is it the 2nd time in a row in the Barclays Premier League? We hadn't lost before last episode. Now we've won. Now we've lost twice in a row. Very poor performance overall. A 7 rating from Drinkwater. I think the fatigue really showing. The likes of Kante, Embolo and Mahrez not really stepping up as much as you would expect because of the fatigue issues, which is a shame. We have got a bit more of a break, though, now going into the 2nd game of today's episode at the Vitality Stadium against Bournemouth in the FA Cup. Some changes still having to be made because of stamina, but certain players getting back on the grind. Kante feeling probably a lot more fresh for this game with a 3-day break instead of a 1-day break. As you can see, though, here is the squad in the background as we look to bounce back from that disappointing defeat against Crystal Palace. There it is in the background. Vardy and Dybala starting with Tarajai and Herman as wingers. Maxi Arnold now also back into the side as well, but it's actually Bournemouth for the first chance of the game. Max Gradel forcing a save out of Loris Karius. We're, though, now going forward just a few minutes later. Dybala finding Kante, looking for another long shot like he got last episode, but it flashes just wide of Rui Patricio's goal, and Bournemouth getting lucky. But now we're going to have some luck, and a great save from Karius to deny Simon Francis, who was extremely far forward. Wonderful save, though, from the German, starting to come back into his element after Kasper Schmeichel challenged him for that place. Perhaps that's brought him back into life. Good save there from Patricio to deny Jamie Vardy, but Bournemouth going forward straight away, and again Karius with a one-handed save, this time to deny Matt Ritchie. Towards the end of the half, Maxi Arnold's bursting forward. He's been taken down, scythed down by Andrew Sermon, and N'Golo Kante has seen his central midfield partner go down injured, and he's not happy about the challenge, and he steams in and gets himself a yellow card. But more crucially, Maxi Arnold is injured and he'll have to be replaced by Andy King. Hopefully that is not a long-term injury. Just before half-time still, King's found Kante in a wonderful through ball to see Jamie Vardy on-rushing, and we have utilised the pace of Jamie Vardy once again, and despite an injury just about 30 seconds ago in game. We have taken the lead right on the edge of half-time to offer the revenge, really, on Bournemouth after they injured one of our star men. Hopefully Arnold is not out for too long. We do go in at half-time here, 1-0 up thanks to that man there, Jamie Vardy. I think it's probably deserved, although it has been a fairly equal game. Kante going for another long shot, again saved by Patrizio. Shani Tarajai trying to put a ball into the box, but he's offside, is the Swiss youngster. Bournemouth, though, looking for a response again in a very end-to-end game. Andrew Sermon forcing another save out of Karius, who's probably having one of his best games since signing from Mainz. You guys were saying that we should get another goalkeeper, but Karius proving that perhaps we don't need to. He's been threatened, really, by Kasper Schmeichel and forced into action. Now into the last 10 minutes, and Patrick Herrmann down the right-hand side finding Jamie Vardy. He can't get the shot away straight away, then finds King, and then Dodu, who's off the bench, but he cannot get the ball past Rui Patrizio. Can the youngster from the Leicester Academy who came off the bench. He cannot make it 2-0 here in this FA Cup time, but we do still win 1-0 in the end. We could have made it 2 right at the death, but a very equal game overall. Loris Karius, though, getting man of the match with a 9 rating. Good ratings as well for Kante and for Jamie Vardy, and also for Lucas Klosterman, but of course Vardy winning the game for us thanks to that wonderful Kante assist. Nevertheless, in the aftermath of that game, as you can see, Maxi Arnold, crucially, is going to be out for 3 months. He broke his ankle in that challenge in the Bournemouth game. That is a massive, massive blow to our title bid. Maxi Arnold is one of the crucial players in our midfield, in the squad in general. Danny Drinkwater and Andy King, the Leicester originals, will have to try and make do with them and try and make sure they can do a good job in replacing him for now. As you can see, though, in slightly better news, we are now into the transfer window, so that's going to be a bit more entertaining for you guys as we now try and sign some players. I'm going to be looking at a winger, a defender of some kind, potentially a centre-back, maybe a left-back, though I'm not entirely sure at the moment, but definitely a winger, and I'll put the vote to you guys as well in terms of a striker. In fact, well, I might as well do it now. There'll be a link in the description, a straw poll, which will decide whether we should replace Paulo Dybala, who's been in very poor form. He hasn't scored for about, I think, 4 episodes, 5 episodes, something like that, which is quite a long time when you think about it. I think it's about 15 games or something overall. It's been a long time. So do you guys think we should replace him, bring in another striker, or do you think we should give him some more time and wait for his form to improve? A link to the straw poll will be in the description, and you guys can directly decide whether Paulo Dybala stays at the club and whether we bring in a replacement. If you do think we should get a replacement, then drop the suggestion for a striker in the comments section and say who you think I should buy. Nevertheless, though, it is now time for the final game of today's episode against West Bromwich Albion, this time away from home at the Hawthorns. We won the game 4-0, but I think that was quite a generous result in our favour. I don't think we quite deserved to win the game 4-0. Here you can see the squad in the background, quite a few changes, but mainly our main team. Klosterman, though, starting instead of Bruno Perez. We are going forward, though, first of all, after just 11 minutes. Bril Dembolo turning and forcing a good save out of Boas Myhill in the West Bromwich Albion goal. The resultant corner, though, will come in from Patrick Herrmann towards our captain, and Nicholas Nkulu just heads the ball over the bar, very close to a direct header there from a corner from our captain. Nevertheless, a few minutes later, Mbolo trying to cut inside. He's brought down by Johnny Evans. Fairly, in my opinion, but the referee is pointing to the spot, and that seems like a very poor decision from the referee. I think the Northern Irish centre-back is very unlucky because it looks as if he gets the ball before the man. We've got a very fortuitous penalty yet again against West Bromwich Albion, and we've converted once again, and it's Riyad Mahrez once again in the 28th minute, and once again we lead West Bromwich Albion thanks to a penalty once again from that man, Riyad Mahrez. Wonderful celebration as well with the backflip. I'm liking that. Boas Myhill stays central in the end. Different goalkeeper in this game as opposed to Lindegaard, but the same result. West Brom, though, going forward, and Darren Fletcher on the turn, hitting the post. I think Loris Karius may have had it covered there in our goal. Nevertheless, right at the end of the first half, and Fukrata Masuaku with a wonderful bit of skill into the box for Mbolo. And that was on a plate. An absolute plate for the Swiss striker, but he puts it, he just puts it across the box instead of into the back of the net. Into the second half, and Jamie Vardy's trying to score, but he's hit the post, and we should be 2-0 up by now. We should be out of sight in this game. Hopefully we'll still get an opportunity to do so. Riyad Mahrez going forward. He's been taken down by Johnny Evans again, and the referee has pointed to the spot. This time it looks a little bit more clear-cut, and Johnny Evans, he's played us twice now for West Brom, and he's conceded 3 penalties. We've got another chance to get a 2-0 victory, but Boas Myhill saves the penalty from Riyad Mahrez. How we've not doubled our lead at this point is beyond me. Now, into the dying embers of the game. We're still going forward, though. 4 minutes to go. Somehow, Herman wriggling his way through the West Brom defence. Almost a wonderful solo goal. But in the end, it does end 1-0, as you can see, and a decent victory, and again, a 1-0 in this episode. 3 games, 3 1-0 wins, 2 for us. Loris Karius there with a good rating, as well as Kante and Klosterman once again. But wow, decent win there, but it could have easily been by, it really should have been by more. In the background there you are seeing some training. Marcus Karlgren, Frederick Riex, Lasse Jonsson and Braille Donald Mbolo still being trained, and quite a lot of growth there in terms of attributes for all of those guys, which is nice to see. In the meantime, though, it is now time for Player of the Episode. Only 3 players are going to be nominated today because we haven't quite had the domination that we perhaps had in certain games last episode. But Jamie Vardy is the first. He, of course, scored the winner against Bournemouth. We've also got Loris Karius, who kept a clean sheet and made a load of saves in that Bournemouth game. And then finally we've got the captain, fantastic Nicolas Nkulu, the ex-Olympique Marseille centre-back. He, of course, kept 2 clean sheets and played his socks off. And this is sort of a bit of a remainder from last episode as well, because he was fantastic last episode as well. So you guys can vote for your player of the episode for today, and of course they will play in every single game of next episode. The choices are Jamie Vardy, Loris Karius and Nicolas Nkulu. The link to the straw poll will be in the description. In the background you can see we are still 3 points behind Chelsea despite that loss to Crystal Palace. That's because Chelsea lost against Arsenal as well, so we're only 3 points behind Chelsea, who sit on 46. So we're still very much in this title race, but of course Max Arnold now being out injured is a big shame for us. 3 months. He will be back by the end of the season, but he'll be gone for quite a few games. Nevertheless, of course, there's the transfer window next episode, so once again you guys can leave your suggestions for players to buy in the comments section in terms of fullbacks, maybe a winger as well, and also potentially a striker if you guys decide we should replace Paulo Dybala. The straw poll for that vote is in the description as well. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode though of Leicester Career. If you did, feel free to hit the likes button, subscribe if you're new around here as well, and comment about enjoying the video if you enjoyed it that much. But it has been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a good day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.
No, that's not me. Act like a waste man, that's